injury that has forced me not to play for most of the year. And when it's all right when you've say a broken arm or something wrong with your arm or hand or something, you can still run. But when you've got a problem with your legs, it's you can't run, and it's hard to keep your weight down.
Yeah, but haven't you ever heard of diet? You were getting very roly-poly there. Am I being too hard now? You were getting very roly-poly. You looked like a front row forward a couple of months ago.
Get into him.
Well, if you disagree, say so. You're here. You're a big boy.
Yeah,
you can look after yourself.
I probably didn't. I didn't train while I was off because I gave a complete rest. But I don't think I was getting roly-poly at all.
Well, blimey, mate, how long have I known you? Since you came to Manly as a 16-year-old boy or something or other. I've known you since that time. And believe me, at the start of this, through this season, you started to get very bulky and heavy-looking, and I wasn't the only one that noticed it. So, shall we agree to disagree?
Okay.
Graham, on that score that things weren't going too well for you, was there any thought of retirement in your mind?
It got to a stage, Barry, I thought, well, if the injury reoccurred again, I would have to look at the fact of retiring.
But it was a physical thing. You realised that he had problems with the legs rather than the criticism from media, because one of the things is as soon as you start to lose form, no matter how good you are, for some reason you attract all the publicity. So
that's right.
The legs, but once you get hamstring troubles, if you've got it reoccurring, you've got a real problem.
How do you feel about your form now, Graham? Particularly after last Wednesday night when I thought you had a magnificent game.
And in this game you had a good game, yes.
No, I'm very happy with my form at the moment, Alan. I'm getting confidence back in my form every week.
When I spoke to you on Friday, I just asked one question and your answer startled me a little. You haven't given any thought to the Kangaroo Tour selection?
No, I wouldn't have even been in the selectors' minds.
No, you wouldn't, but after this game against Balmain, in which you had a top game, and I saw the full game on tape, you are very much in people's minds. You must be in people's minds now. You're going to have to start thinking about whether you're available to Kangaroos.
Will you be available, do you think, Graham?
Well, as I said on Friday, Alan, I'll have to think about it. So it's a long time. You're away from your family for 3 months, and it'll be a hard decision.
Well, just looking at this game, and the voice you heard there, of course, was my error. Was Alan Clarkson. I should have introduced him again. A long-time panellist, but we've got two sickies today. Weaky Noel Kelly is away.
I thought hookers were supposed to be tough. I knew there was a definite streak in him.
You can expect Cole to go down because of man of his venerable age. He's got the virus and he's fallen away. But Noel Kelly, you big weaky, I don't know what's wrong with you. But this game, looking at the full game on video for the third consecutive week, former Manly players were instrumental in their old team's defeat. John Dorahy did it for Illawarra with a late field goal. Jim C did it for Cronulla with a late try. And now in this game, you'll see Steve Martin for Balmain with a late try. Now, Manly ought to sign everyone to lifetime contracts, I think. That's the only answer. It's their fourth consecutive loss in premiership games. Eden's goal-kicking failure, only 2 from 6, cost them very dearly, as Manly scored 5 tries to 4. It was a very good display by the Balmain side. A number of the Tigers played above themselves. Filipina, Martin, Roach and Hemsley all did very well. And significantly, no one failed for the Tigers. Plenty of the spirit and heart on the side. I don't think Manly really had any excuses. They'd led 11-5 at half-time and were leading 19-15 before the late converted try. And a real worry for Manly coach, club and selectors is how a team with so much experience, and I'd like your answer to this, Graham, so much experience and so many internationals can allow a game to be stolen in the last 10 minutes. They led Illawarra, Cronulla and Balmain in the dying stages, and they've lost the 3 games.
Yes, it's a problem, Rex. I didn't play in the first grade Illawarra, and they led well then and let it slip away. We just seemed to stop, but the last 2 games we've seemed to have the game and then let it slip away again just through not putting the man on the ground with the ball.
Could it be anything to do with so many of the Manly players had a lot of football this year in terms of representative games and so forth? Might they be tiring in the latter stages?
We can put it down to that, but then again, the Wednesday night games, it's been virtually the same pack of forwards that have come out and really got on top of Parramatta and Newtown.
Maybe quarter football?
Football.
Is that your go? We'll play the premiership quarter football.
Well, can we get it on Wednesday night?
Graham, there must be a worry to the club too that there is a chance that you could miss out in the final 5 if you lose these next 2 games against East and South.
Yeah, we've. I think if we can win one of them, we're assured of 2nd or 3rd spot, which is what we're aiming for. But then, as you say, Barry, if we lose the 2, we're
Well,
could miss out.
there's a strong possibility you're in trouble if you lose too. You've got to win them.
This is the Graham Eady try again, and this is 72-78 vintage Eady, isn't it? Running very powerfully,
Stretching out.
breaks the tackle at the end of it, half down, up, and goes on with it. Forward progress, according to the referee, not stopped. And that's a bulldozing try. That must have given you a hell of a lot of satisfaction, that one.
It was, Rex. That's probably the first time I've really stretched out since coming back from injury, and it was good.
You know, Graham, on the old English system there, you go from full-back into second row, from second row to front row. You know about that, don't you?
And end up looking like you.
That was the second row I was trying, that one.
I've often wondered why players don't pull the long hair of players. Well, Broadhurst obviously has breached the contract of not pulling hair because he got him a handful of Hemsleys on this occasion and swung him to the ground by it with an assist from the shoulder. But you don't. For years we've seen long-haired footballers going around, and I've often thought, we older blokes have often thought, you know, why don't they grab hold of it? Well, they never used to, did they?
No.
They didn't go on with it. And I put this little piece in on Corowa. You'll remember this incident. Now, this is, I think, a very nice little bit of football. You nearly run over a bird to start with. Larry stands his ground and takes you. You give him a serve, and then he comes back and gives you a serve, and then he stands on your hand, which is like Balmain players have been doing since the year dot. At this point, you can't get up because your hand's being stood on, and then you get up and laugh at him and you smack him on the bum as he walks away. I thought that was a nice bit of football. What did you think of that?
Well, I just sort of put my hand down, and I don't think Larry trod on it purposefully.
Don't you? Oh, I see.
It's not in Larry's game.
Oh, yeah. No, it may not be.
And what about Santa Claus?
Well, let's go on to the